Hello fellow football connoisseurs and welcome to the Quick Take. Lots and lots of news to get into today, including a very important Victor Osimhen update, Chelsea beginning to show real interest in Karim Benzema, some breaking news regarding the former head of scouting and technical director for Bayern Munich, along with Leny Yoro's alleged decision to move to PSG and what that means for Chelsea going forward. Before I continue, I would like to quickly remind you I am running a giveaway with OwnASaber.com where at 15,000 subscribers you could be in with a chance at winning the King of London lightsaber, the perfect saber for every Chelsea fan. 3 participants will be chosen and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and check the pinned comment down below for more information. And with that, on with the video. This coming in from Fabrizio Romano 1 hour ago. Breaking, Victor Osimhen, I have already made my decision on the next step to do at the end of the season. I already made up my mind, I already have my plan. I know what I want to do, the next step I want to take, he told CBS. He then went on to say, I think 60% of the people mention the rumours about me linked with the Premier League. Premier League is one of the biggest leagues in the world. I want to finish the season with Napoli strong, then come up with a decision I've already made, he told CBS. Fantastic, of course. Many know he is a Chelsea fan and he idolises the likes of Didier Drogba. Here we go again, Victor Osimhen on Drogba. I was opportune to meet him before the game against Ivory Coast and tell him thank you very much for inspiring me, because I think if not for him, I don't think I will get to where I am today or even become the type of player I am today. Now, of course, he did speak with John Obi Mikel on John Obi Mikel's podcast. If you haven't seen it, go listen to it. It's a very interesting view into how Victor Osimhen is as a person and as a player. And during that interview, John Obi Mikel told him, listen, I think your future should be at Chelsea. I think you should join Chelsea. And we've seen former Chelsea players and former Chelsea personnel talk about Osimhen and suggesting that this is the best club for him and that this should be the next step in his career. And if there is one club out there who is willing to pay his massive release clause, it would be Chelsea. We, of course, need a striker. The stars are aligning. He has already made his decision, and I doubt he wants to join Arsenal or a Manchester United. He wants to come to Chelsea. It really does seem like a match made in heaven. I think this deal has been cooking up for a while now, and a move in the January transfer window is just out of the question. Of course, we do need to make sales. We will have some money coming in come the summer transfer window. Of course, the money from Ian Maatsen, around £35 million, I think. We, of course, had the Lewis Hall money, £28 million. That will help us with financing a deal which will cost more than £110, £115 million at least. Of course, he does have a release clause. Some were suggesting it was around €130 million or €140 million, but then I heard another news story that was only £106 million, €106 million. So there's some contradicting reports out there for how much exactly it will cost to bring in Osimhen this summer, but it will be a healthy chunk of money, and we do need to make some sales in that department, whether it's Trevor Chalobah, Armando Broja, again Lewis Hall, that's already established. Of course, we may want to sell Conor Gallagher, maybe, depending on how this team goes and whether Mauricio Pochettino stays past the summer. Of course, Gallagher is a massive part of Pochettino's system. The way he plays, the way he presses, he's very good for that. So, depending on Mauricio Pochettino's future, that will decide Gallagher's future, in my opinion. That, of course, would be a massive chunk of money, £45 to £60 million. That can, of course, go straight towards Osimhen. That alone with the Ian Maatsen money and the Lewis Hall money, that's nearly £100 million right there. So the deal is very feasible in terms of finances, and we can definitely pay it. I think he has chosen Chelsea. That is my honest opinion. I just think it's written in the stars. But that is not the only striker news I have today. No. 2 hours ago, reported by CFC Pice by Ed Aarons of Guardian Sport, Chelsea are starting to show interest in Karim Benzema. Now, this is a story I've been talking about for a while now on the channel. Of course, Karim Benzema has fallen out with Al Ittihad, as we can see here. Karim Benzema feels under pressure at his Saudi club Al Ittihad and wants to leave temporarily, a source close to the club told AFP on Tuesday. And we have another update here from Get French Football News. Karim Benzema, 36 years old, has asked to leave Al Ittihad. He has been offered the chance to go out on loan to a rival Saudi side. However, the Frenchman has rejected this proposition. And then Vince, who reported a news story by HITC Football, Benzema has been offered to Chelsea and would take him on a short-term deal until the end of the season. They might be encouraged by his new training situation. Head coach Marcelo Gallardo has told him to train away from the main group. It all looks like it's coming apart between Karim Benzema and Al Ittihad. Of course, Chelsea do need a striker this towards the end of this season. Just try and find some connection. Of course, Armando Broja is on the verge of leaving Chelsea, and then that does leave really one or two other striker options. Nicholas Jackson, who some may say is underperformed and is far too raw for what we need right now in order to knit the attacking play together. And then, of course, David Washington, who is very young and inexperienced and really should have gone out on loan, but we ran out of loan spots as far as I'm aware. And Cole Palmer, he's not a natural striker. Raheem Sterling, he's a winger, so we do need a striker. And Karim Benzema brings the experience, he brings that leadership, he brings that ego, that arrogance in front of goal that we've been missing. And he's got the skills and he's got the talent to back it up. And he's extremely refined. This isn't some 21, 22, 23-year-old prospect. He is 36 years old. Some may think that's old. Look at Thiago Silva. He is aged like fine wine. The way he uses his body, he doesn't utilize pace to the same way other strikers do. He's far more about ball control and placing the ball in corners and just being a natural goal scorer, basically. That movement in the box is all he needs, and I think he'd do fantastic in the Premier League. Of course, we've seen him against Premier League competition in Liverpool and Chelsea, of course, and he's done fantastic against them. So I have no doubt that against the likes of Crystal Palace and Wolves and such, he'd be just fine. So Karim Benzema to Chelsea is starting to look more and more likely as time progresses. We have some other news, though. This is coming out of FC Bayern, reported by Fabrizio Romano. Marco Neppe leaves FC Bayern with immediate effect. Decision has been made as director will part ways with the club after 10 years. He was key to help on deals like Kane, Kim Min-jae, Mathias de Ligt, but also in the scouting process for Alphonso Davies, Jamal Musiala, and more talents. Of course, he is a technical director. We did lose our technical director in Christopher Vivell a while ago. He did go on, I think it's called gardener's leave, so we are missing that. But some other notable signings he has made is Serge Gnabry, Kingsley Coman, Leon Goretzka, I said Alphonso Davies and Musiala, Lucas Hernandez, that was a big deal, Leroy Sané, Mathias de Ligt, Dayot Upamecano, of course, that was during Julian Nagelsmann's tenure, Sadio Mane, Matthias Tel, Kim Min-jae, and of course Harry Kane, all big signings. Chelsea did, I did mention this, but Chelsea did lose Christopher Vivell as their technical director, and in my opinion, bringing someone like Marco Neppe into the scouting and recruiting position would be as important as any big name signing. He's clearly experienced at the highest level of football, he's worked and scouted some of the biggest and best names in football, and he's curated a team which has dominated the Bundesliga and worked with excellent managers like Thomas Tuchel, Julian Nagelsmann, and Hansi Flick. I really think that bringing someone like Marco Neppe into the Chelsea fold would be an amazing way forward as to strengthen the side going forward in terms of decision making going forward with signings, with recruitment, making smart decisions in the transfer window. I think he would bring that to a T. And he's certainly dedicated to his role. We have an article here from Bavarian Football Works. In a rare interview with Kicker, as captured by TZ, Neppe explains his work, which isn't limited to signing players. The popular belief is deceptive, he says. He is responsible for team and squad management. What interests many is what criteria Bayern has or what the club wants to see in a player. There are 10 qualities what a player for Bayern should have. Mentality, resilience, communication, courage, and activity are included in the assessment. The market is scanned, the networks are tapped, Neppe explained. Neppe also said that he doesn't have a preference for a specific type of player, but is interested in a player with characteristics such as passion, the will to win, body language, and behaviour when things aren't going well in the game. Leaders, basically. Former Liverpool winger Sadio Mane and ex-Juventus defender stalwart Matthias de Ligt are players that fall under this category. I'm a big fan of de Ligt, and apparently he may be available in the summer window. If that's a deal we want to do, I'm certainly for it. In addition to the aforementioned characteristics, players with high decision-making skills grab the attention of Neppe and co. There are so many decisive moments in a game. A player with high decision-making quality has a tangible talent, Neppe said. With that in mind, Neppe's team creates up to 100 reports on a player, which includes video clips and live viewing. Observing it several times makes a difference, Neppe said. Not everything goes to plan, however, as some players ultimately join other clubs, which is something Neppe dislikes but must embrace. Not every player decides for FC Bayern in the end. That's part of the job. When players decide to join other clubs, it's massively frustrating. It pulls the plug, said Neppe. So it's clear he's clearly experienced in his role and very passionate when it comes to scouting players, and he likes to take his time when finding the perfect person for his side. What Chelsea are missing right now is balance, and I think Neppe would provide that perfectly. And moving on to the final news story of the day, this coming in from Sports Zone. Flash Zone, Leny Yoro has given his agents agreement to transfer to PSG. LOSC is demanding 60 million euros from PSG to release its defender. Paris wants to complete its arrival this winter, but will be satisfied with its signing this summer. Of course, Leny Yoro has been a name that's been mentioned with Chelsea beforehand, along with the likes of Ousmane Diomande and Antonio Silva. I have spoken about Antonio Silva and Ousmane Diomande on the channel before, and so Leny Yoro going to PSG, I think it helps us target our focus on those two options, Sporting's defender and Benfica's defender. If I had to choose one of the two, of course, I'm going to go with Antonio Silva. I think he's a bit more refined, and I really think he's the next big thing when it comes to defenders in the world of football. So Leny Yoro going to PSG does help us in that department in terms of deciding between the two of them. A very talented defender. We have missed out on him, but I'm sure he'll smash it at PSG. Thank you all so much for watching. As I said, Victor Osimhen has already chosen his next club. Who is it going to be? I have a slight feeling it might be Chelsea. Karim Benzema wants to leave Al Ittihad, with Chelsea interested in a move for the Ballon d'Or winner. Marco Neppe has now officially left his position at Bayern Munich as technical director, and really should be someone Chelsea should target and should bring into the scouting fold. Of course, Manchester United are currently recruiting backroom staff. We may lose out on him to Manchester United as they build a super team behind closed doors. And Leny Yoro looks to be off to PSG. If you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. I've been The Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.